roots before religion. Which one comes first? Is it culture or the organized religion? My name is MrFab, and welcome back to the Truth of the Matter podcast. Today, I have with me a very intelligent man, someone I have known for a very long time. He's vast, he's knowledgeable, he has read a lot, and he knows how to handle a topic like this. Mr. Saint Cyril Esono, thank you for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you for having me, MrFab.
All right, you're welcome. So, I know I'm interested in anything religion and culture, and I know you have a good knowledge about religion and culture too. And people want to hear and learn from us. Why do we have people suddenly interested in culture and tradition, especially in Africa where we're coming from? People are no longer baffled by anything religion, right? People are no longer that enthusiastic about going to church, doing the things of religion and stuff like that. Even on social media today, you see young people preaching African Renaissance, preaching going back to culture and all that. Why do we have this sudden interest of people in culture and tradition?
Thank you, MrFab. And I would say it is a disillusionment. You know, in life, when you are being fed with a propaganda, the one thing about lies is they are easily and generally accepted at first.
Okay.
But when proven, when put through test,
Okay.
then you will know that the proven integrity will be less than zero. The one thing about truth is that when it's being given out, it has to pass through test. And when proven, you know that there is an integrity found in that element of word.
That's true.
Over the years, we have been told what to do, how to behave, what to think, and how to live. But you find out that these things are no longer relatable with our living environment. Religion is far different from tradition.
Yeah.
Tradition is relatable and is something that you can verify.
Yeah.
It's something that you can see. It's something that is accountable, a record of history.
Yeah.
Something that has a track. So you find out that our youth being told that God gave birth to Christ. Christ came and died for us. That is belief. And you know that belief is doubt. Belief is doubt.
Belief is doubt. That's deep. Okay.
Belief is doubt. But knowing the knowledge of whom you are is tradition.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah, I
so
get.
From where I'm coming from, Item, in Ben, the local government area of Abia State, you find out we have a particular phrase called Itemobi Alabawa Rachikwa.
Okay.
This is the essence of whom we are.
What does that mean? Itemobi Arabawa. What does that mean?
That's what I'm about to explain.
Okay.
You know, this dates back to the history of our ancestors, how we became whom we are, relatable to our life and our belief, how we were able to conquer the land where we are. So these are relatable stories that when you are growing and this history are being passed from generation to generation, relatable with stories and facts. The question I should ask you, why do you think that the Westerners were so much interested in African artifacts? The real secret about it is to create identity crisis.
Identity crisis.
Yes, because there is no history without time, date, and location. So when you could no longer have evidence backed up to those things that is your, architectural designs,
your story,
your archaeological designs, you find out that your story will be baseless.
Yeah.
So in Africa, you find out that most of us are now becoming relevant to our own local environment.
Yeah.
Then beginning to ask questions. So how will you tell somebody that in the Ark of Noah only the saints were delivered? Then don't we have the sinners in the world now? So what was the essence of that? So there are so many unfounded theories in the Bible that is raising eyebrows to questions that youths of these days are seeking answers.
Yeah.
So I would say what is happening is an awakening of self-consciousness, cultural disillusionment.
Yeah.
So in Africa, more are still coming because a lot of people are trying to connect back to their roots.
People want to ask questions and get the right answers. They just don't want to believe.
Answers with facts.
Yeah.
Answers that are relatable. You don't. How do you relate telling me that Moses wrote Deuteronomy? The same Moses died in Deuteronomy from verse chapter 32 down to verse 10. Then who finished Deuteronomy? So these are questions that you and I that are learned, you and I that are fast checkers, you start asking yourself, I mean, are we correct upstairs?
No, if you're talking about the books of the Bible and even religion generally, both this religion and that religion and their books, right? You see that if you must practice those religion, you must have an atom of belief and faith. If you are looking for facts, you might not see it. Before we go ahead, let me try to understand you. Currently, are you practicing culture or are you still in the organized religion?
As I said earlier, I am a traditionalist.
Okay, you are a traditionalist. Now, were you in the organized religion before you moved to culture, or you've always been in culture?
I was born into the organized religion.
Yeah, because I noticed your name is Mr. Saint, and really? That name Saint came from the organized religion. Now, what is that thing that made you to leave the organized religion?
Well, it's the same self-awakening.
Okay.
It's the same disillusionment, as I mentioned earlier. You know, when you have this sense of disappointment to the natural background and the philosophy surrounding the beliefs you have been meant to grow in.
Yeah.
So I came to the point that, one, if there is a God somewhere, and the God made me to come to this world through another God, which is my father.
Okay.
Then the God is invisible. Then the only person I owe allegiance to is the father I am seeing.
Your relatable father.
Yes. Which most of this religion also relate with. That's your father and your mother are your first God second God on earth.
On earth, yeah.
And you should obey them that your days might be long.
That's what the Bible said.
So, are you seeing the confusion?
Yeah.
So, bringing me back to the question I asked you, what do you think the Westerners are doing with our artifacts? Studying the background around it, turning it against us. Because you cannot get a man to become a slave. First of all, take away his name. There is reason why the first assignment given to Adam was naming ceremony.
I'm interested in this, your knowledge. You said something about our first God on earth.
Yeah.
Our father is our relatable, our parents are our relatable gods on earth.
Currently, I'm building a cloto for my father.
Okay.
So he sent a son that I know.
Okay.
So I don't have the audacity, I don't have the temerity of, praying on the name of somebody I don't have ancestral blood with.
Yeah.
If there is somebody on earth who wishes you to be more successful, to succeed more than him, is your father.
Walai. So whether he is dead or alive, it is safer to run to your father in any situation.
From the history of etymology, you understand that there is a connection through ancestors to our spiritual being. Most of you these days don't know their descendants, their third generation. But I know in my generation, I know to my seventh generation.
Wow. That's
people
great.
that began to tell my father.
And when you want to pray, it is safer to say that you call your father calls his father, and his father calls his father, up to the seventh generation that you know. So imagine if we keep calling our fathers to our fathers to our fathers, definitely
the mystery of the first man on
we
earth.
are going to get to the first man on earth and eventually to God. That makes it for me, and that makes a lot of sense. So you don't have to start.
Let me bring this.
Okay.
Have you noticed that most of the civilized countries that are practicing their original traditions are doing well, and most of the Western world are afraid of them?
That's true. That's true.
Look at China.
That's true.
Look at Japan. Look at North Korea.
That's true.
They practice their
But before we go to that international community, I want to understand this. You were explaining about praying to your father. Now, you know, if you start praying through your father or to your father, that is what they call ancestral worship, right?
Yes.
Is that not ancestral worship?
That is tradition. It's not ancestral worship.
Okay.
You know, you can never take out the root of tradition from that ancestral beliefs.
Yeah.
From ancestral understanding.
Okay.
You must know your root. That's why I say tradition is relatable. It's not something built on faith. It's not something built on supernatural. Something built on doubt. It's something you can connect to.
You don't need to come and tell me how one man died on my behalf.
You don't need to show
and
my
that
father.
and I have to believe that this man died for things to start working for me. I don't have to go through that route, because already by talking to my father, he's talking to his father. We're already talking to the first man on earth in connectivity, and that first man is already talking to God. That is what it means. Now, before I go down to this discussion more, you were a Christian.
Of course.
When you were a Christian, was things not working out for you spiritually? Like the prayers you were making, were they not being answered that made you to start asking questions to know your roots?
I found out that we all are making prayers of offering sacrifice, worship in a wrong direction.
Okay.
Of course. Because what is prayer? Prayer is a communication. It is a link. It is a connection
To the divine.
To the divine. And you don't pray to God to give you what he has already given to you. Even in the same Bible, they said that everything you need, you require, that God has given to you, according to
his riches in glory.
That before you were born, that you have been made prophet among nations, that you have been given with materials. What is happening to most of us is illusion of whom you are, self-realization. When you have self-realization, your eye will open to whom you are.
Yeah.
Because when you have the full understanding of whom you are, you'll be able to see your spiritual inclination. You'll be able to be open upstairs and understand your roots, patterns. Life goes in patterns.
But don't you think that the moment you embrace tradition, right, people start to segregate, people start to move away from you? There is this stigma on people who have accepted their tradition and culture, especially from where we are right now. The moment they see you making prayers in a traditional way, they start to look at you like an outcast, like this one, you don't go astray, heaven is not for you. In fact, see hellfire, you don't enter hellfire. What do you have to say about such stigma?
You know, spiritual living is about self-conviction.
Okay.
When you have received this reawakening, you understand that it's a spiritual journey, and you do not owe any person any explanation.
Exactly.
And you should also understand that people, the traditionalists, observe sacred values.
Yeah.
They keep rules. They observe nature more than the so organized religion, so to call. Because you find out that today, I can open and launch and establish an organized religion.
Of course.
I can wake up and build a conviction. And one thing about in life is that, you know, emotion, love is sellable. Build it around my conviction and use love to quote it.
Yeah.
Then look for the
helpless in the
helpless
society.
in the yes. Push some resources around. The crowd
will come.
Once the noise is made,
people must surely come.
People must surely come.
You mentioned sacred values.
And people are now, even in the organized religion, most of the founders are now being underrepresented.
Yeah.
And most are even overrepresenting them. The cultural values on which they founded their conviction has been desecrated. It also happened in traditional religions.
Okay, throw more light on that, on desecration of sacred values of this.
Like now, when you come to some religion, they are anchored on love.
Okay.
So of what love it is when you stand on the pulpit and tell lies, just because you want to swindle somebody out of their hard-earned money.
Okay, break it down. Like
now, telling people to offer money for prayers,
money for consultation,
buying spiritual materials for prayers.
But then I hosted a pastor here some time ago, and he said something that made sense to me. He said, when you see this kind of people who pray for people that obtain by false pretense, people that are doing any illegality, people that are charging you before they will pray for you for consultation, for prayer and all those things, that you should be convinced that these are the wrong prophets that the Bible talked about in those days, and that you should run away from them. It made a little sense. Let's be frank. So now it is about the person, not about the religion. That is why I try not to generalize with what anybody is saying. Because when you come to the organized religion, there are good people. When you also come to the tradition, there are also bad people. In as much as we are trying to embrace tradition, right, there are bad people. And when you come to the organized religion, there are also good people, right? So I wouldn't want us to generalize the characters of people who are charging people for consultation, for this, for that, unnecessary tithe and offering, prioritizing money over faith and salvation. Let's not bother them, because I have had someone who handled that topic and said, when you see these people, run away from them, they are evil. But there is something you mentioned about sacredness of tradition. Tell me more. What are those do's and don'ts in tradition that you think people who want to practice tradition should also pay attention to those things?
Observing the laws of nature. Observing the laws of nature is very important.
Can we have like 3 so we break it down?
Thou shalt not kill, which is also in organized religion.
You are not supposed to kill.
You're not supposed to kill.
Yeah.
Then thou must obey your parents. You must honor your parents. They are your living God. Nature understands this.
Of course.
Then don't put someone into a position you yourself wouldn't want to be.
That summarizes it. If you have to treat people the way you want to be treated, the way I want to be treated, it simply means that the world will be a good place.
A better place.
Because if I don't want to owe you, if I don't want to be owed, I shouldn't owe you. If I don't want to be killed, I shouldn't kill you. If I don't want to be made mockery of, I shouldn't make mockery of you.
Exactly.
And if all of us can embrace this, bro, definitely the world is going to be a better place.
You can say that again.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. But then back to that question I was trying to ask you. When you were in the organized religion, did you pray?
Yeah, we pray.
Was your prayers answered? Can you quote any situation that was transformed by prayer? Was there any let me use the regular word, testimony. Is there any testimony you can remember? Maybe somebody died and right in your presence, they prayed and the person resurrected, or you knew somebody who was crippled or blind and eventually prayer healed this person. Have you had that situation?
If prayer heals, why do we still have mad people on the street? Is the God unjust? If prayer heals and gives you prosperity, why are there thousands of
poor people
roaming in the street?
Why
are the morgue filled with corpses?
If anybody could resurrect anybody, they could have resurrected their family members.
It is a very powerful venture. It's a lucrative business. I'm telling you, because I will pay.
Yes.
If you can resurrect my father now, I will pay. I will sell off all our land and pay. Why are we making mockery of even the Christ you are representing? That's why I said
so what is prayer? Give me that definition again.
Prayer is a connection, is a lineage of connection between you and the sovereignty.
Simple. So you don't need to go to prayer and start looking for...
Prayer is not meant for prosperity. You have been prospered from birth.
Oh my God.
When you are connected to your root, discernment comes. Direction comes. What we are waiting, what gives you purpose is clarity. Clarity is what brings purpose.
Yeah.
When you understand yourself, knows your ability, knows what you are capable of, that's when clarity comes. And when clarity comes, purpose becomes visible.
Okay.
Most of the people in the organized religion
do
not have clarity of vision. I'm sorry to say.
Can I add that most of the things done in the organized religion is about faith and belief?
That is what we said from the beginning.
No clarity.
No clarity. You are being told on how to think. The same thing, the same slavery model sold to us by the Europeans.
There is something about the organized religion which I always want to talk about, which is heaven and hellfire. Heaven, they have made a promise to you that if you are going to be nice, be this, there is a mansion for you somewhere in heaven. And then if you commit evil, there is a place for you where you're going to burn inside fire. In fact, I also know of a religion that promised people of 7 virgins in wherever they are going to afterlife. You know, and all these promises made by people on earth here. What is your take on them?
This is a very funny one, and that's why I say people need to wake up from slumber, spiritual slumber. You see, when you start living your life based on promises, you are still living unaware of whom you are. God has made it popular. If God wanted us to believe in faith and theories, He would have thrown all of us from down. So when you land Bakadam, you start wondering where you are. That is the belief. But why would God go through the mystery, the rigors of giving you a parents coming from a root?
A guardian.
There is something He wants to. There is a purpose there. Then the same Bible said, when God wanted to expand the world, He scattered them through language. People that understand each other try to build their community, you know.
Does that make sense? Does that even make sense?
So, you will know that He is God. And because He is God, He has placed a God over men.
Yeah.
So your Father, it is a living God you are seeing, and that is the true study, the true belief, the true worship.
So you don't believe that there is a place we are going where we all wear white and be singing Hosanna, Hosanna?
So why would the pastors who drink sniper die and go there immediately? I don't know what I will be doing on this.
If there's a place where everything is available,
let us die and go there now. So we shouldn't be wasting time. And who has given us the prototype of that place?
Who has been there?
Who has been there and back and tell us? Except from hypnotize men and women who you know, by virtue of untreated malaria and so many other things, you fall into coma and come back and start telling us stories.
Out of imagination.
We still see it in the hospital when somebody will be injected. You see him talking out of sense. These are things most of these people go through when they come and start documenting rubbish. I'm not saying that they are not spiritual, you know,
consequences for our actions here on earth. I hosted someone recently, although he had some extreme observations to make. One of them was that he has been to the spiritual realm and he's tried to give me a definition of hellfire. He said it's not a hellfire, it is a hell. A hell is a place where people that committed evil are trapped. For example, you said killing somebody is evil. You mentioned it, right? You also mentioned doing to people what they shouldn't do. Don't do to people what you don't want them to do to you. So we believe that these are evil, right? He tried to categorize evil and sin. And eventually, he said, people that commit this evil will surely be trapped in hell in the spiritual realm. In this tradition that you are practicing currently, do you think that makes sense to you?
Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Why?
Then why will God go through the strength, go through the difficulties of creating men that He will later put into dungeon? I'm not connecting to it.
Okay.
Why will you get, you know, just like, okay, let me relate to an earthly circumstance.
Okay.
You will see somebody standing for your son, even when you know he's a thief, you will still want him to be delivered. You will still want him to be forgiven. True or false?
True.
So why would God go ahead to build heaven and build hellfire For who?
So what will happen? What will happen to people that committed evil? People that killed other people, people that used other people for ritual or whatever. What will happen to these people when they die?
That is why people need to be more spiritually opened. It's a stage. Things of the spirit are not something you see with your ordinary eye. It's something you connect to and you grow in stages.
Okay.
There are two deeper experience in the spirit.
Okay.
So this only happens when you are in a traditional religion. When you say traditional religion, you are not talking about African traditional religion. Traditional religion means practicing and worshiping the true nature of inheritance.
Yeah.
Tradition comes from your inheritance. Things relatable to your blood.
Yeah.
Things you can relate with. They gives you a center of your conviction. And mind you, conviction is the greatest power of humanity insight.
Yeah.
Take away somebody's conviction, is empty. And if you must find and walk through the footprint of posterity, you must be somebody of great conviction.
So what will happen? I'm still interested from what you believe in or from your culture or tradition. What will happen to people that committed evil while they were on earth?
You know, I believe nothing happens to any person.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
And I believe their judgment always comes hereinafter.
Here on earth.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I'm not judging. You will see some people that have lived a very rigorous life. How their lineage turns out. And remind you that this life is a cycle of, if you didn't affect you, it will affect your children. So it's either you are a padlock or you are a key.
Okay.
So when you are a key, your name opens door even when you are. So for me, I think the heaven that is being, baptized as a life after death was the glory behind your name.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Yes, I believe in reincarnation.
Okay, so if somebody commits, whether somebody does good or does evil, the person will still probably reincarnate.
Yes. Do you know why? This is just what I'm just saying now. Reincarnation means that thing that is in the lineage. It's just a recycle and reformation of what has been in the system. And it's changeable.
Okay.
Family traits are changeable. But
okay. What is reincarnation to you? Is it family characteristics or is it the spirit of someone takes another body and comes back to earth?
No, it's family.
Threats.
Yes, the family threat. No, reproducing of a family threat.
Oh, that's reincarnation to you.
Nobody dies and he comes. He comes. No, there must be somebody from where somebody will just appear from the stomach and no now. There are some things we do.
But there are stories of relatable stories of reincarnation.
Those things are, well, let me not use the one.
I have a very special story I have never shared to anyone. The way my mother told me, and I believe maybe I will share that story in this episode because you said you don't believe in reincarnation. This is my personal story.
I believe in reincarnation, but not
but you are reincarnating the traits of the family. Now, I am telling you a reincarnation story that relates to the spirit. And it is my personal story. My mother is still alive. She told me when I was born.
And don't forget, the family traits we are talking about.
I'm not talking about family traits.
Yeah, it's in the spirit.
I'm talking about the person that once lived. I'm not talking about Now, this is what happened. Before my mother gave birth to me, is a true life story. She had already given birth to 8 children. I am the 9th child. But she said before me, she was already pregnant. Now, she met this man that once lived and died in my village. The man is from my village. Now, the man said, no, as they call her, because she was always delivering like the women of Hebrew. She gave birth to 8 children without complications. So the man was like, no, after giving birth to this one, will you give birth again? My mother said no. That even this one she gave birth to, which is the 9th child, is by coincidence that she doesn't intend to give birth. So the man was like, who will bring me back? This is happening in her dream. Who will bring me back? Because I am interested in coming back through you, which is through my mother. My mother was like, "Dey, also go and look for another person. After giving birth to this one, I am not going to give birth to another person." The man said, "That means I have to be this next person that you are carrying." My mother said she left the discussion and ran away. Now, while she was running in the dream,
Okay.
while she was running away from the man started chasing her, and eventually kicked her. When he kicked her, she fell in that dream, and then fell with her stomach. When she fell with her stomach in the dream, she woke up in real life and had a miscarriage. This story, I don't know. Whenever I share this story, I feel like there is something more strange, right? Now, when she fell in the dream and fell with her stomach, she had a miscarriage right in real life now.
Yes.
So she had to tell my dad. My dad was like, they didn't know what to make out of the story. It didn't end there. 3 months later, my mother became pregnant again.
Okay.
Now, when she became pregnant, something more serious happened. Whenever she is going out in the night, you know those days in the village,
Okay.
you go out to urinate outside, right? They didn't have this water system in my village where you have to. So now, when she goes out to urinate in the night and opens the door, she will see that man that died. This one now is not a dream. This one is happening in real life. She will see that man. Now, at first she was scared. She was like, why is a dead man following me around at night? So, first time she ran away. Second time she ran back. The man told her, "Don't be scared. Come and do what you want to do and go back. I am protecting the baby in your stomach because I do not want anything to happen to this child." That was me. My mother is still alive. She told me. Now, this continued until after 9 months. My mother said whenever she comes out to urinate at night, she will see the man. At a point, she got used to the man. She was no longer scared of the spirit, right? She was saying, she would tell my father, say, "Look at this man here. This man." My father was like, my father used to be very harsh. Like, if you talk rubbish, he will lash you off. Okay. So he'd be like, "Young man, let us go inside. What nonsense are you talking about? Who are you seeing?" But the woman knew what she was seeing. Now, eventually, they gave birth to me, and the man automatically stopped coming, stopped reappearing till today. Mm-hmm. Now, whenever people talk about reincarnation, I think about this my story, and I keep asking myself over and over again, does this mean that there is a place where dead people could wait for us and eventually come back? The spirit takes back the form of a child and comes back again and again and again. Now, this is one out of so many stories I have heard about reincarnation.
Well,
because
have you thought of that being a divine message? Instead of pure self-reincarnation, it could be a divine message, which brings me to the point I made earlier.
Okay.
That when you found yourself back to your inherited customs, then start practicing it. Doors of spirituality will open. Start seeing yourself as divine. Life is in stages and men are in phases. So when you open yourself to divinity, you start receiving connection. Remember, there is somebody somewhere that
sees everything.
That is what we now call prayer. That's where you can connect to divinity. That's where you can receive, you can connect. How do you think that Wi-Fi comes? How do you think the knowledge you can download something from cloud? Earth you are seeing is a prototype of what is
somewhere.
So there are some deeper things I don't want to go into because there's not every
no, you do go,
not every knowledge is made for the public domain. No.
But pastors will say, "Go deeper, daddy. Go deeper, daddy."
For the past 5 years, I have moved from struggling to self-floating or free living.
You mean that in the practice of tradition, there is comfort, there is realization, there is peace.
We don't, when you know, okay, why would God say, "Forgive one another"? Then you know one stay with devil in the heaven, in pursue and come here. I don't get it.
Okay.
So who is telling us all this story?
Okay.
From beginning, there was nothing confusion about. Everything was clear about God. He's an invisible God. He made man. Then connect to divinity. You reproduce. He gave us order to obey the person we are seeing as our God.
He gave you charge. He said,
charge.
Man, take over the earth, be yourself,
and gave us the highest gift, which is self-will.
That's true.
Because earth would have been boring without self-will, without doubts.
But don't you think that if the organized religion had not made some rules that are guiding people today, probably the whole world will be in chaos?
How?
Let's take, for instance,
Okay.
they criticize things like rape, fornication, polygamy, stuff.
Are they not raping? Did
People
the
are
rape
raping.
stop?
It didn't stop. Okay.
So what are the rules for?
So what's your take on polygamy?
You say,
because I know the organized religion, especially the ones we practiced, they criticize.
tell me one person in the Bible who settled for one woman.
I'm not
From
a Bible
Moses
scholar.
to all of them.
I'm not a Bible scholar. Okay.
So you see how confused people are. But when you comes to your own, if you are from England, and you could relate to your inherited
One man,
custom,
one wife.
and you could relate to what your ancestors practice, good for you.
Yeah.
And you will find peace in it. So you cannot bring a prototype of your life. That's why it's not working for us.
And force it on another
And
person.
force it on. Come on. Do you know, during my 8-year master exposure, I found that some of the systems put in place by our so great ancestors, ecosystem that organize everything is self-will system. That's the first civilization. Before you come into every kindred, we have what they call Ebo. Ebo was in Ebo Chihojo. It is where people comes together. Every family member comes together to enact a law, enforce a decision, and be bound on one cultural belief. Everybody will eat in the same plate and vow.
Yeah.
This is what we will be do. They will kill, fire, do everything. Those are the symbol of the belief, not necessarily as a charm. It's a symbol of that belief. They will put it there. Each family, elders from each families will participate in this ritual, believing accordance, believing agreement, mutuality. Then they believe this thing is protecting them. They also have what they call a zero foe. They are still practicing it. They say women don't enter here. It's not as the women would die. So because them understand the language of fear.
Yeah.
Do this, you will die. Sometimes those who may not necessarily, any ghost may not necessarily go and kill the person. It's still the servants of those that will go behind and buy sometimes to still create that fear. This is how all this system started. You will see them, they are using mpola those days. They will use mpola and come and disgrace, put something like ogiri, shima, everything. The thing beneath it was where they buried the mpola, and they will use that fear factor to push away every person that is not initiated into the system.
Yeah.
And people who are initiated into the system are the contributors.
But do you think this is a safe zone for everybody to be?
It's a safe zone. See, why would there be law court? Why would there be police station if you believe forgiveness is the key? Remember, the highest weapon God gave us was self-will. Self-will to do anything, to believe in whatever you want to believe. So how do you control the belief? How do you control human character? How do you control the societal threat?
But the organized religion has gone so far that it's almost impossible to be able to pull people back to where they should be. If we start today to market...
That is why they are losing it. Because you cannot blindfold somebody from his natural truth.
Okay.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
It can only, take some a while. Can only take time, but it must... People are still connecting more to their roots. And there is a great rapture when it comes to cultural awakening. It's coming. And it will hit them more. Go to Britain. Cathedrals are turned to clubs these days.
But you know, as much as they try to talk about organized religions and stuff, there are still people that don't want you to even mention it. Maybe because these guys have successfully
built an empire.
Thank you.
Around it.
And employed our brothers and our friends to manage the empire for them.
They don't want.
Now, if I want to talk about the place where I worshipped, where I grew up in the seminary, I feel like I am attacking my classmates, who are my friends, who are like my brothers. But in reality, I am not attacking them. I am only trying to guide us back into where we belong. So these people have gone so far. In fact, I think that is why they earned the name organized religion. They are so organized that they have gone too far. People just want to practice it, whether it is good or bad. Let us practice it. Like my elder brother once told me, it's been a long time I questioned heaven and hellfire. He told me that, okay, let us believe that there is hellfire. Let us believe that there is heaven. It is better for you to die believing that these things are there, and eventually you find out that it wasn't there, than for you to not to believe, and eventually you die and you now realize that, oh, there is hellfire and there is nothing I can do. You know, this knowledge has been so organized, sold out, conquered the world in their numbers, that people are scared to retrace back their steps. And are we ready to keep preaching this gospel of tradition and culture till our people are able to start buying the idea again, the same way they bought the idea of the foreign organized religion?
You know, one thing about living by tradition is not something you preach. You live in it. It's something that's contagious. When it is relatable, you don't need to practice. You don't need to preach it. Just live it, and you see it spread. It's gradually, and it's coming, and it's going, and it will spread.
Yeah.
There's no people are trying to reconnect to their root. Don't you hear some of the celebrities abroad say, I'm tracing my route to Africa? People are coming to self-consciousness of whom they are. We are tired of, how can you reduce a grown-up man with reasoning into thinking like
as also person is your mother, so also person is your personal Lord and Savior.
I don't understand where we are heading. So it's so confusing that sometimes you start questioning, what is this word? Is it not even good? The worst thing to believe is on promises. I'm sorry to say this. The worst thing
to believe is on
promises. And that's why promises can never be held as evidence, even in the law court.
Yeah.
The question is why.
They promised you heaven and hellfire and 7 virgins when you die, and eventually when you die you won't even have anybody to hold responsible in the spiritual realm. This is like practical deceit.
And you're already dead.
And you're already dead. So
and they know you're not coming back.
Of course.
To come and query. So you see the fabrication.
Well, Mr. Sent, you are making a lot of sense here. And that reminds me the definition of culture. They say culture is a way of life or of a particular set of people or a given territory. So you think people should practice their culture, learn from your father, and do exactly what your father is doing. There is something you said there that stood out for me.
Draw your worship from your inheritance.
There is something you stood out here there's something you said here that stood out for me, and that is the fact that your father is your earthly God, your parents are your earthly God. If you want to pray, whether they are dead or alive, go to them and ask for whatever you want, and they will do it for you. And this, even though it translates into ancestral worship, this is you trying to talk to your own God, because by talking to your father to father, we definitely get to God. And to me, that is it. But there is a dimension I want us to look at this. Do you think traditionally, you pray traditionally, right? Now, do you think this God of tradition, I just want to put it like that, or this practice of tradition provides answers to your prayers?
It provides answers and directions.
How?
To my requests.
How?
Yes, because have you ever asked yourself, what will make a woman you don't know from Adam? You tell her, I love you. You preach to her about the extent of your love, and he could give you the only thing that makes her a woman, letting you into her privacy. Have you asked yourself, what miracle is that?
I have not really thought about that.
As you are, you have not seen somebody. You connect to somebody.
No, I have seen, but I have not really thought about why she will give you her love. So you can tell me.
Based on promises.
Yeah, based on promises.
Non-verify. At the end, you will not say, he don't serve you breakfast. So that's how, dangerous religions.
Oh, okay, that's where you are going.
Now, the clarity of tradition is undeceitful. If you come in those days, even in Igbo language, men eat together from one plate. They don't come and tell you, go charm here and tell you don't kill each other, this and that. You go behind and kill.
And since you started praying in this traditional way, have you been getting answers? Like, have things been going on in your favor?
That is what I say. For past 5 years now, was one of the things that filled my life with is confusion. Trying to try this, trying to do this, near success syndrome, do this, halfway it stops.
But when you started practicing tradition,
I noticed there's what they call Agu. Agu is what they say, something like God of creativity.
Yeah.
But it has to come and it has to be, nourished. That's where mentorship comes. It has to be nourished. It has to be, guided.
You now understood your purpose on earth.
In the absence of physical mentorship, then this, your lineage, going through your heritage,
gives you spiritual mentorship.
Guidance.
Now,
you start receiving clarity.
There is something I want to also, there is a dimension I want to also understand perfectly. You mentioned self-will. People should use their self-will to know what is good and what is bad, right? I will start from what is relatable to what is not. Let me start from polygamy. To you, if my father practiced polygamy and I'm relatable with polygamy, so I can do polygamy. It's okay for me to do polygamy, right? As long as the girls or the ladies I want to marry accepts with my polygamy, I should be able to practice polygamy. You said it, right? Now, you also said something like, if I know what is evil, like if somebody owes me money or something and it's going to pay me, so I shouldn't owe the next person, right? Now, this is from point of relatability, where we can relate. But there is a part I want us to ask, or I want us to go into. Now, what about people that are gay? And from their self-will, they are convinced that I am okay to be a lesbian. I desire my fellow man. I desire my fellow woman, right? They are okay to do this. What do you say about them using their self-will?
Okay.
Because this is where religion comes in. The organized religion will outrightly tell you this is evil. In fact, when US was gambling through legalizing...
Let me come in there. This is why I like tradition.
Okay.
And that is why I said tradition offends no one. Because tradition is the worship that goes in boundaries. It has boundaries.
Okay.
Because it's something that is relatable. It's something that goes with ancestral customs. It's something that has built under track record.
Yeah.
If God did not take away self-will from us, who are you, man, to condemn self-will? The birth of each belief or religion is conviction.
Yeah.
So if they are convinced that this is what every human being is a spirit. We are all spiritual beings. It depends the angle you open yourself to. There are spirits hanging here. There are just activate, waiting for activation. They don't have power to work in you until you give them activation code to come in. So that's why you should be guided to what you expose yourself through the spiritual gateway in your life. Eye, ear, nose, and your skin. These are spiritual gateway. So if you want to be a spiritual supernatural being, control things, discipline, control things, and that is what traditional religion gives you. Because you will come due to a proven record. They say maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 persons have eaten eke in that particular area, and they have a particular just like a child. What kills your mother? You say is a snail. What kills your father? You say is a snail.
Why
what
are
you holding?
snail?
What are you holding in your hand? You say is a snail.
Do you want to die? That's the point.
Are you understanding me?
Yeah.
So now these things should open your eyes to the fact that self-will, conviction is the most powerful spiritual tools. You can become a god tomorrow if you want. It requires some amount of discipline, clarity. Then you see this. You see attraction of spirit. There are thousands and one spirits on earth. We are not living on this earth alone. Bend on what to. When you connect to whom you are, that which sponsors that you. Okay,
so does that mean?
Have you asked yourself, how do the spirit of lust activate? Do you know it's a spirit?
Yeah, you are just saying it, and I don't think I'm doubting it.
It's a spirit.
Okay.
And sometimes, when he holds a man, when he holds a man, even your house rent can go. for you to after you don't do it, you come back, you say, wow, what really happened? So it is a deeper. God made this world just like in fact we are on an adventure.
So nobody, from what you are saying, nobody should hold anybody responsible for what they.
Who told you? Okay, now who told you that lesbianism is bad? Did you meet God?
The society? No.
Did God give you the true nature of how He created and how he wants us to use this body?
No.
Is there anywhere God self-will, Abi?
Yeah.
So why are you playing God over mankind? No, that's the question.
Wow.
And since this life is a journey, and you don't have 100 years or 200 years, you are not a Methuselah. You will live and go. Why don't you concentrate on what you create within your limited
time frame,
confinement, and which is your own heaven? Because I believe heaven is the will that you leave behind. Because a man will when people dies and you are still being referenced to, you are a god. That not every person is an ancestor.
Okay.
Ancestor. Not every person is an ancestor.
So is there
that you just die, you become an no.
Okay.
It's for a purposeful men who live with clarity.
Okay. Will become an ancestor.
One idiot. I'm telling you, even if it's my father, I reference my father because even one thing about heroes, they will tell you the truth. You will disagree with them, but after their death,
you will realize.
Yes, the awakening will start. Your eyes will open. Several things my dad did. The awakening, the opening was after his death. So that's how you know a true saint. So
how do we know a true ancestor? Because now we have said, pray to your father, let your father communicate to another father.
Ancestors are known by the track record of their living, not when they died.
And if your father lived by his self-will, you said live by your self-will. I live by my self-will. I was a homosexual, God forbid, and eventually I die. And my son doesn't really believe in homosexualism, and eventually he wouldn't want to pour drinks on me. That doesn't mean, from your judgment, that doesn't mean I lived wrong, right? I lived in my own convictions.
But you're not his ancestor.
Okay. But he's not praying to me. He's not praying.
Because you are not his ancestor.
So who becomes his God?
An ancestor is somebody that lived in the track record of the inherited customs. Oh. There is no geographical area that doesn't have what guides them. Go and check.
Okay.
If you go to China, they will give you history of how and you see them over and over the years. Generations are being passed down through doctrines, customs, and belief.
Okay, that's right.
Okay. You hear about outcasts.
Yeah, I heard about outcasts.
People that did or something that is not relatable to the confinement of their belief within a certain geographical settings. As in
they were sent out.
And they are ostracized. You hear about the Osu system.
Yeah, I know about Osu.
So maybe somebody who is an Osu, who your ancestor. I want us to understand this word ancestor. Just like the word they use, Saint Matthew, Saint this. Somebody can just die and be forgotten. But there are people that died. Have you noticed there is a place a family you will come, the sixth grandfather will be remembered more than the present one. Nobody remembers the present one.
Yes, now.
Because of what he did. Even the children grows up to still believe in the greatness of their great grandfather.
Grandfather, yeah.
That's what we call ancestor.
So it's not every father you should pray.
Christ is an ancestor. To what? Because if you die and you are not leaving behind a heaven, your own conviction.
Did you just say Christ is an ancestor?
Of course.
So we are back to the Christian belief.
That is their own ancestor.
Okay, ancestor to the people that brought it.
Yes.
Mr. Saint, you've really opened my eyes to what culture and tradition should be. So from your thought, what we all should be doing today is building systems, organizing our tradition the same way the organized religion sold out their knowledge to the world. We should organize ourselves and also sell out this knowledge to our kids, to our children's children, and to our generation to come, so that they won't deviate from it again.
I think what you are trying to say, selling, selling comes with conviction. Selling comes with creating beliefs and doubt. But anything that has solution-oriented is self-weird. Now, do you know that the best way of training your children is to live in the prototype of the life you want them to
live? Yeah.
Now, if everybody, religion, community, every institution should start obeying what is relatable to them, the world will be a better place.
That's perfect. And this is a wonderful place to hold it in this conversation. We have come very far. The rest of this conversation can go in the comment section. Ask your questions, ask things you don't understand, and we will be in the comment section to continue this conversation. A very big shout out to Rushwoq Philmz and Glorec Africa Studios for the continuous production and partnership. We appreciate you, and thank you, Mr. Saint, for your time. My name is MrFab. See you in the next one.